Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live. Yeah.
Kia ora and welcome to the Radioactive Active Live Room. I'm Aimee and I'm joined today by Androgynous Lemon. Hi guys, how we doing?
Good, hello.
Good. So we've got Aimee, Nikita, Ruben and James here in studio with us, and we're also, as usual, recording this all on video, which will be up on the radioactive.fm Facebook page later on, so you can check that out later, see all these beautiful faces for yourself. I'm really excited to have you here. We're big fans of Androgynous Lemon here at Active, especially Don Cheeto out there. He's the biggest fan. How are you guys? What's been happening in Androgynous Lemon world?
We're good. We've had lots going on, really. We're planning lots of things. We've got lots of gigs on the way. We've been songwriting, kind of.
We released 3 singles this year.
Yes,
Busy. That's so good. And you had a show a couple of weeks ago for Music Month, is that right? Out at Parrot Dog. How'd that go?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Really well.
It always pulls a good crowd out there, eh?
I think it's our favourite show we've ever played.
I think so.
Unanimous?
It was just nice to play in a venue that we haven't played in before, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool space, and the crowd is always really nice, and we had a lot of fun.
And Dunes are awesome too. Shout out to them. Thanks
out
for
Dunes.
asking us. We're big Dunes fans here.
Amazing. And I have to ask, where did the name Androgynous Lemon come from? We need to know.
Ruben, you can do that one.
You might be disappointed. Nah, it's just a funny picture of a man holding lemons up, and we're like, Lemon Man. But we can't be Lemon Man because there's 2 girls in this band. Whoa.
Oh.
Revolutionary, right?
Right.
It's a shocking story, really.
Yes.
No, that's beautiful. We love that. I want to see the picture. We'll have to put that
We
up
kind
on
of always assumed we'd change it, and then we just never did.
the stuff. And how do you sort of describe what you do for those who are listening who maybe aren't familiar with your music?
It's been a long process figuring that out. We tend to change things up a bit, and we're never like too set on a certain style. But lately I've just been saying psych pop. It's 2 easy catch-alls. Mm-hmm. We like to make things a little weird.
Yeah, it's a bit hard. We start writing a few songs and we're like, oh, maybe we're in this genre, and then we'll write one song that's completely different, and we're like, oh, we just don't have one specific sound, really.
Yeah. It's funny talking to people after our shows. It's like, oh, so what do you think we are? And they're like, oh, like psychedelic jazz, man. And you talk to someone else and it's just like synth pop, synth funk, and we're like, whoa.
What are we? Who knows?
Yeah. Existential Crisis, the band.
Perfect segue into a track, I reckon. We'd love to hear what you've got. So this first one you're playing is your most recently released song. Can you just give us a little overview of the track?
It's probably it's fun to play. A little funky number. We were kind of like, when we first wrote it, we were like, oh, this is different to anything else that we've done before, but I think it's grown to be one of a collective favourite song, I would say. It's called Lavender Eve. Our most recent release. It's just a fun, kind of light-hearted number, I would say. Fun to play, fun to listen
Breezy,
to.
nostalgic disco jam.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
cool.
Could I be clearer? The wind is smelling on your name, and I'm getting nearer. Tell me that you have a good heart, like overgrown lavender. Tell me about a fresh new start, like overgrown lavender. be clearer. The wind is spelling out your name, and I'm getting nearer. Tell me that you have a good heart, like overgrown lavender. Tell me about a fresh new start, like overgrown lavender.
Wicked. Androgynous Lemon here in the Active Live Room if you're just tuning in. And we were talking a bit just before about the kind of genre, how you're genre fluid, perhaps. And but you have a very distinct sound, you know? It's not confusing at all. It's very cohesive. Do you all kind of come from similar musical backgrounds, would you say?
No
that
way.
makes it
Absolutely
no?
not.
Not at all. So
Absolutely not.
how did you end up where you are right now?
Music school is really the simple answer. Just this band started as a project over there, and we just kind of like, oh yeah, let's just do it out of necessity. But we were just really loving what we were doing, and kept it going.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of like, not lost souls, but like, we were all like, we all want to be in a band, but everyone else kind of was in their own separate bands, and we were like, oh, like trying to find kind of where we fit in, and then we were like, oh, let's be in this project together, and then it kind of felt good, and we were like, oh, we actually work well, and like we gel well, despite the fact that we all listen to completely different genres of music. And I think we were like, well, it sounds good and it feels good, so let's just like keep going and see where it takes us, really.
Yeah, the range of interests in this band spans from like garage psychedelic noise
Classical.
to classical.
A bit of jazz.
Yeah, a bit of jazz.
Bit of hard rock, you know. It's a bit of everything, which I think plays out in all of our individual, like Mike, he's a very like jazz influence, I feel like, and I use a lot of like, I don't know, jazzy sounding chords, and then James is very much like notates kind of like in a classical way sometimes, and then these guys are like garage. Yeah.
I love that. I think it's amazing how you've managed to blend it all so perfectly to make this unique sound. It's really impressive. Is it hard work?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we butt heads because of how different sometimes one of us is like, I think it should sound this way, and the other person's like, I think it should sound this way, and sometimes that can be a little challenging to work through, but I think that's what makes our music sound the way it does, despite us not being able to label it in any way.
It's really nice to have persistent bandmates who, you know, are keen to just like talk about it and not run away at the sign of conflict.
Yeah,
It's
very
cool.
good.
And I think also for our recorded stuff, it'd be silly for us not to shout out Michael Sutherland, who kind of produced all of our recorded work so far. And he brings a really specific style, which we really love, and he brings a lot of creativity to it.
I feel like he's kind of helped shape our sound a lot as well.
Nikita just said, yeah, he's really helped shape our sound.
Shout out Michael Sutherland. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. How has your band and the sound evolved since the very beginning? Do you think it's come a long way?
I think so. I think
Because how long have you been together as well?
3-ish years?
3 years, I think, now.
We almost don't count the first one.
True.
But I think confidence is almost the number one thing. And we've been feeling it at shows lately, just like coming off stage and just feeling really like locked in with each other. It's been cool.
I think with everything, the longer you are together, you kind of like grow and you learn what everyone's strengths are and you bounce off that, and it just kind of like you get the ball rolling, and then it just keeps rolling and keeps getting better and better. And like sometimes we listen back. Actually, we were driving to band practice the other day, and like the very first mix of Space Samba that we released came on the radio, on our Radioactive, and we were like, this sounds so different to like our production now. It was kind of crazy to hear how far we have come, which was nice. It's good to see the progress.
I love that. And you all started at Massey, as you said earlier. Do you have words of advice for people who are maybe considering that commercial music program, or studying music in general?
I think just have fun.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to, like, I think we were kind of, that it took us a while to get into the band because we were all a bit scared to approach each other. And I think in a situation like that, if you want to do something, just go for it and, you know, see where it leads you.
I think also like something no one talks about with music school is how overwhelming it can be.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, like you're from a small town and you're maybe like one of 3 people who take like your instrument seriously. And then you walk into music school and everyone's just like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa.
You come from your hometown and you think, oh, I'm a really good musician. And then you walk into music school and everyone's 10 times better than you and your confidence just like plummets.
It's humbling, but
Yeah.
I think it's a real special time.
It makes you better. It makes you better.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And we'd love to hear the next song.
Yeah.
What is up next for us?
We are playing Cherry Mountain next, which is also on Spotify and Bandcamp.
Bring me up to Cherry Mountain, dress me in satin, passed down for generations. We all walk on knives throughout our lives, but life don't exist on Cherry Mountain. Watch my reflection in the water. Take a sip, careful daughter. We all seek the wishing well, and all your wishes come true on Cherry Mountain if you make it happen. Whoa. Blue ivy, green eyes catch my tears and watch them fly. I couldn't tell
Stunning. Androgynous Lemon here in the Active Live Room. I love these little live sessions because I just feel like I'm getting my own little private concert. It's so cool. It's so good. Aimee, I'm assuming you're responsible for most of the lyricism, just as you are the singer.
Yes.
So that was Cherry Mountain. Oh, it's collaborative. Oh, we've got some tension in here.
I wrote some lyrics once. I was like,
One time.
I was like, oh, you can change them if you want. She's like, no, I really like them. I won't change them. And then net practice, she's like, oh, I wrote some new ones.
So Aimee is responsible. That's what we're getting at.
But she's fantastic, and we really love her lyric writing. So no complaints.
So Cherry Mountain, which we just listened to, is like particularly sophisticated in the imagery. I think it's just like beautiful lyrics. Do you have a background in writing outside of music at all?
I always thought that I was good at story writing, and I feel like I was like, yeah, I can write stories. I'm talented and stuff. And then I got to high school and we, how you had to do those like classic short stories and stuff for English. And I would always submit these really like elaborate stories that I was like, yeah, this is really heart-wrenching. And I remember one time I had to do an assignment and it was like, oh, write like 1,000 words. And I wrote like a book. And my English teacher was like, yeah, you got to cut it down. It's way too long. And I was like, I can't cut it down. It needs
This
every
is my
aspect.
artistic direction.
Yeah, so I guess like in that sense, I've kind of like I've always enjoyed writing, and I've been playing piano since I was 4 and songwriting for like most of my time, playing music. But like my teenage songs were like, classic. I'm in love with a boy and my But most of the time when I'm songwriting, I don't actually write with anything in mind. I just kind of like, people always ask me, what's this song about? What's that song about? And I don't really have a good enough answer because I just write things that I think sound nice together. So it doesn't really, I've written like a few things with meaning, but most of the time I'm just like, that sounds nice and I like the way that sounds. So I'm kind of a bit useless when someone asks me, oh, what's this song about? Yeah.
That's good. I like that it doesn't have to have meaning. It just sounds
yeah, and then
nice
it
together.
means that anyone can kind of attach their own meaning to it, I guess. So, yeah.
Are the lyrics sort of like the starting point of a song then when you start building one, or is it a bit different every time?
It kind of changes, but mostly the lyrics come after. Yeah, we kind of like, we just kind of like play together and get a sound, and then I'll start like humming a melody, and then the lyrics kind of are like the last finishing step. Yeah.
I often feel like when we're writing, when the lyrics are in, that's the moment where it's like, oh yeah, this is a song.
So kind of the icing on the cake, the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's like the bow on a present. It ties everything together.
So we've had 3 singles from you this year, which you mentioned at the start, and you mentioned you've been doing some writing. So I was wondering if you have any plans for something a little bit longer in terms of releases. EPs coming up? Anything in the pipelines?
Yeah, that's the intention. It's in progress. We'd really love to have some more stuff to release the second half of this year, so that's definitely being kept in mind. But at the moment we've just been playing lots of shows, really. Yeah.
Anything else in terms of gigs coming up?
We've got a few odd gigs coming up, which we're really excited about. But we can't say too much at the moment.
Tell me something. You've got to give me something.
The powers that be.
No, guys.
Another thing we're really excited about is we are doing a South Island tour later this year.
Amazing.
Yep.
How many stops are you doing in that?
It's still a work in progress.
But
yeah. Just, the classic 2 at the moment, Christchurch, Dunedin.
Yeah.
Which will be awesome. Especially, I've never really spent much time south, so, I don't even really care about whether the shows are good or not. It'll just be fun.
Just go on a little roadie.
Yeah.
Sweet. No, that's awesome. So lots coming up, lots of hush-hush things, which is annoying, but I'll take it. Where can people sort of stay up to date with what you guys get up to? Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, we've got Facebook and Instagram. Post more on Instagram, I would say. Facebook, because it needs a little updating. But, yeah. And music-wise, Spotify, Bandcamp. Are we on SoundCloud?
No.
Amazon for all our overseas friends.
Nice.
All the other fancy ones.
All my family.
So we've got another song coming up. So what song have we got up next for us?
The song's called Honeypot. It's the first single released this year.
And it's fun.
Round pool of beige, about to form the outside, forming planes of rigid joints and jutting out from under me. I find myself swimming in a whirlpool of freckles, refracting and reacting, lifting through the liquid with the first lift of light hits. The pool moves soft and gentle, sways in the breeze, tendrils wrapping around me again and again and again. And the pool moves soft and gentle, sways in the breeze, tendrils wrapping around me again and again and again. And oh, and I tried to chatter, 'cause you make me start to stutter. Oh, and I tried to chatter away. Find myself swimming underwater, slowly slipping under these rigid joints that are jutting, cutting out from under me. The honey pots and forget-me-nots remind me of simpler times, but other times I forget to say these things I could never say to you. But the pool moves soft and gentle, sways in the breeze, tendrils wrapping around me again and again and again. And oh, and I tried to chatter, 'cause you make me start to stutter. Oh, and I tried to chatter away. Oh, and I tried to chatter. Oh, 'cause you make me start to stutter. Oh, and I tried to chatter away.
Androgynous Lemon here in the Active Live Room. If you are just tuning in, thank you guys so much for joining me today. My mum's just texted me saying she's listening in and she's loving the tune, so shout out to Cherry.
Thanks,
Great
Amy's
show. We do actually have
Thank you.
time for one last song though, if you'd like to play one more for us.
This one's
Before
an
we sign
oldie
off. Cool.
for the.
Let's just jump straight into it.
Cool.
It's called Space Samba.
thanks again to Androgynous Lemon for
Thank you
joining
for
me
having
today.
us.
Thank you.
Go follow them on Facebook and Instagram and all of the good music sites. A big thank you to New Zealand On Air Music as well for everything that they do.
Thanks, Radioactive, for having us.
Thanks. Ka kite. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.
When all is ready, I throw this switch.